What's up, everyone? I'm James.
And I'm Jeremy.
And we're the Bear Rugs.
Plus one.
Coming at you live in at least 720p.
Not really sure, to be honest.
So grab yourself a spicy soda and greasy snack.
Then apologize to your cardiovascular system.
And let the sweet baritone ravings of the Bear Rugs fill your head.
We really appreciate you guys tuning in. And without further ado, let's get into it.
Let's get into it. It's Friday.
Movie review.
What are we reviewing today, dude?
We are reviewing Wes Anderson's newest film, Asteroid City.
Ooh.
Dude, as you know, as soon as I get out of the movie theater of one of his movies and they announce his next, I start putting little X's on the calendar. Time goes into slow motion. I'm 35, but because of Wes Anderson, I feel like I'm 80.
You're a Wes Anderson stan, dude.
He does no
He does
wrong.
no wrong.
I say that. I do not give all of his movies 10s.
No.
Okay.
But he
fair.
is as close as someone gets.
Do you want to field this one first then, and then... you want me
Sure.
to-
I will kind of
okay.
go down, because you kind of lay down the gauntlet for a format, as it were. You go through the different sections. So we'll start with acting. I think acting's hard.
What do you rate it out of 10?
Oh, right off the bat, a score, huh?
Yeah, hit me with your score.
Okay. I'm going to give it a 9.
9 out of 10.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah.
You like this movie. That's
Yeah.
like rewatchable.
Oh my
Oh, yeah.
gosh, dude! Wes Anderson hasn't made a movie, with the exception of one, that I wouldn't watch infinite times.
Okay, fair. Damn. What's the one that you wouldn't watch?
I don't
infinite
like
times?
Isle of Dogs very much. I give it like a
Isle of Dogs.
7.5.
Never seen it.
No, I give it like a 7. I'm not even giving it a 7.5.
Is that one of his like older movies?
No,
Was he
it's
still-
No.
it's like the third to newest.
Damn.
It's a stop motion animation.
Oh, okay.
I thought it was the last one before this one.
French Dispatch.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
So yeah, no, I've seen most of his movies more than 5 times, and a few of his movies I've seen probably more than 20,
Okay.
like 3 of them. Fantastic Mr. Fox, Darjeeling Limited, and Life Aquatic I've seen 20 plus times.
That's fair.
All
right.
Acting is tough. Acting is tough in a Wes Anderson movie because he doesn't have actors typically behave how someone would behave in the real world. He has his own vibe, his own kind of fantastical twee sort of fairy tale like qualities to his movies, or it's quirky, just like almost everything's just turned a little
Just a
bit
little askew.
towards the fantastical, right?
Yeah.
I feel like the way he writes for them is kind of like way back when they would send letters. Instead of putting the period, they would just put the stop. Like that's the vibe that I get
Yeah,
from
like
it. It's
letters,
the dialogue is
letters
rapid.
are
And
correspondence.
it's like sentence, stop, and then sentence, stop. Like it's
Right.
always directional, kind of, I guess.
It's funny. Bryan Cranston actually said, like, this is like he enjoyed doing it, but he said it's some of the hardest acting he's had to do.
It's very quick dialogue, and it's also like not conventional. And I saw that interview you were talking about. Wes Anderson will say things kind of like backwards to how it's
Should
normally
be
said.
framed, yeah.
Not should be.
Okay, that's fair.
Normally
That's fair.
said.
That's fair.
Wes Anderson, his movies are probably a bit more like his characters behave kind of more. Almost without exception, his characters are like either intellectuals or otherwise interesting.
Yes.
They're all interesting individuals. You will not find a boring person in a Wes Anderson film or someone with nothing to offer. As far as the acting goes, here's how you have to judge an actor in a Wes Anderson movie. Do they fit into his movie? And I was honestly worried about only one actor. I knew Bryan Cranston could do it, right? And this may surprise you guys that I'm worried about this actor, but I was a little bit worried about Tom Hanks. And after
That's
I watched
fair.
it, I felt bad. I was
Yeah.
like, he knocked it out of the park. He's the most Wes Anderson-y like character that's ever been in a Wes Anderson movie. He did amazing. And so Tom Hanks, hats
Dance
off
on.
to you for just completely integrating into the Wes Anderson troupe. And he seems to accumulate actors as he goes and just keeps them along for the ride. let me list the actors in this movie really quick, because my parents had never heard of Wes Anderson, and I listed the actors in this movie, and they were literally just like, what? Yeah, who?
Yeah.
Are you... Oh, so half of Hollywood's in this movie. Great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
it's crazy. It's very star-studded cast.
Scarlett Johansson, Jason Schwartzman, Maya Hawke from Stranger Things, Sophia Lillis from the new It movies, Margot Robbie, Tom Hanks, Tony Revolori, Adrian Brody, Rupert Friend, Jake Ryan, Edward Norton, Bryan Cranston, Steve Carell, Matt Dillon, Jeff Goldblum, Tilda Swinton, Hope Davis, children that are new on the scene, typical Wes Anderson mainstay / British indie musician Jarvis Cocker, Jeffrey Wright, Rita Wilson, Liev Schreiber, Rita Wilson's Tom Hanks' wife, for people that don't know, Hong Chow, Fisher Stevens, Willem Dafoe, Steve Park, more children, Bob Balaban, Sue Jorge, who is the Brazilian singer from Life Aquatic. He sings the David Bowie songs in Life Aquatic. Some other kind of relatively unknown actors.
The kid from Spider-Man that played Flash.
That's Tony Tony Revolori. He's in Grand Budapest
Who's
is where
the-
he
who's the
joins.
guy from,
He's also in French Dispatch.
Yes.
Who's the guy from Westworld with the mustache, and he played the general?
Oh, Jeffrey Wright. I said
You
him.
did? Okay, I'm
Yeah.
sorry, I wasn't listening.
Yeah, no, you're good.
I
And
did the classic Jeremy zone out, dude.
Yeah, and so they everybody did great. Thinking about it, I'm going to try to really scrutinize it. I don't think anyone really didn't fit in.
Yeah, I was kind of worried about Scarlett and Matt Dillon.
I was worried about Scarlett Johansson. I've seen Matt Dillon do some. So there's something about Mary is what told me Matt Dillon would do fine.
Oh, that makes sense. Yeah.
You remember that movie?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I was like, you know what? He'll be able to take that. He's obviously got comedic chops. You know he has dramatic chops.
Yeah.
All you got to really do to be in a Wes Anderson movie is smash comedic and dramatic chops into each other and then twist it a little. And, yeah, he did it. I was a little worried about Scarlett Johansson as well. Honestly, I would, if you just put a gun to my head, I would call her the least Wes Anderson-y character in the movie.
Yes.
Sophia Lilith probably tries to vie for that a little bit, but she doesn't have a whole lot to work with. Which when you have this many this many people in the cast,
crazy.
there's a lot of times where you're just like blink and you miss them type deal.
I do want to say, I mean, you know, obviously we're going to be respectful of spoilers, but the screen time for most of them was actually pretty well balanced. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, it was.
He tried to get around, which is good because you've got that much talent. Don't squander it.
Yeah.
Maya Hawke from Stranger Things. There were times where she seemed like she might be struggling
she was
a little
getting
bit.
a little more emotional than like trying to put a little more emotion.
Yeah, but she's, I don't know, she's young.
Yeah, she did fine though.
Wes
I was fine with the
Anderson.
character.
Wes Anderson usually gets a lot out of kids, and kids kind of have that imagination that makes them naturally adhere to a Wes Anderson story. And then other than that, he typically has like acting legends that like they can be whatever you want them to be. So you got someone like Maya Hawke who's early 20s, maybe late teens, I'm not sure exactly. So she's kind of in that, and Sophia Lillis as well. They're in that kind of like floating stage where they're not a child and they're also not like an acting legend. And so it showed that they kind of struggled a little bit probably, but it didn't distract from the movie. And I love all of their other projects. So I was glad that they were in the movie.
Would you watch it in theaters?
Oh, absolutely. All of Wes Anderson movies are just a feast for the eyes with the detail. You need to watch it 20 times to catch all the little details from like, he'll make even like funny little signs like an ice machine outside like the diner. There'll be like a sticker on it that's funny. And you don't have time to catch all that because there's 30 of them on the screen at a time. The colors, how much attention he pays to detail with his color palettes.
That's insane.
With his symmetry, with his just, he's almost like a French filmmaker named Jacques Tati with how much like visual gags and detail he puts all over the frame. And you've got to just rewatch it and just to pay attention to a different part of the frame every time you watch it. So yeah, go see him in the theater. The more room you have to absorb all this, the better. Also, his soundtracks are always great. He always finds like the best soundtracks for the time period and the place that he's portraying. So does no wrong on soundtracks. The script was typical Wes Anderson script. It's not for everybody. If he were to change his style, I would have a really hard time with that. You either love it or you hate it, and his script stuck with his style for this movie. The story was one of the more difficult of any of his recent movies.
Yeah.
It was probably the most aimless and least structured of any of his movies so far. But I don't watch his movies for a structured story, so that didn't bother me at all. Not to say some of his movies don't have structured stories. Some of them do, less so than traditional directors, but some of them do. Doesn't bother me if it doesn't. I'm here for the strange people acting strange, acting intelligent, their conversations, their mishaps, the way they interact. That's just unlike something you see in your day-to-day life. That's why I go. So the script, loved it. Cinematography, that's the same thing as production design. He usually uses the same guy, Robert Yeoman. The more of the same. It's just consistent quality. He doesn't change. Love it. With that being said, he's got a movie coming out. This is going to be the closest he's had 2 movies come out ever. I don't think the writer's strike or the actor's strike is going to affect this because I'm pretty sure it's already in the can. But this fall, he struck a 1-movie deal with Netflix. And this fall, like November or something, he's supposed to release his next movie with Netflix, and it's another Roald Dahl adaptation, but it's live action. And it's like the something of Mr. Sweet, something.
The Sweet Life of Zach and Cody. I'm just kidding.
Hey, everybody loves Cole Sprouse. Little Riverdale.
Little Riverdale
Little
boy.
Riverdale action.
Yep. What about, so you obviously like the writing, characters you're happy with, soundtrack. Anything else you want to cap onto it?
The Wonderful Story of Henry Sugar comes out this fall. It's a Roald Dahl adaptation. And it's got let's see if we can see the names in here. Sorry, I'm completely ignoring your question.
It's okay.
I'm trying to think. Dude. There's someone that I really am going to enjoy seeing. Oh, Benedict Cumberbatch and Ray Fiennes is going to be back. But Benedict Cumberbatch.
Bandersnatch Pumpernickel, dude?
Yeah, it's going to be in a Wes Anderson movie. I'm excited. I think he's going to be great. Oh, and Richard Ayoade. I'm so excited about that. IT Crowd.
Yeah.
Yes. Anyway. Anything else to add about it? So it's probably my 3rd favorite Wes Anderson behind Life Aquatic and Darjeeling Limited. I've only seen it once. I need to watch it more. It could overtake Darjeeling Limited. The thing I like most about Wes Anderson movies is they play to that thing I always talk about. I want to hang out with these people. I want to be in this locale. Right now, I think I'd rather be on that train with those brothers than in this town with these people. That might be because of all the children. But let me keep watching this movie, and
you'll come back with a verdict.
I'll come back with a verdict on whether I'd rather be in this town. I do, in the words of Tom Hanks, I do love the desert and I do love aliens in this movie. He doesn't say it exactly like that.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
I love the desert. And always have had a fondness for it, so I really appreciate this movie using that as a setting.
I really think have you ever read the book Desert Solitaire?
It's on my list.
You have to fucking read that.
It's on my
book,
list.
Dude. This movie very much.
Did you know that
resonated
the author of and now you're getting me off on another thing.
Sorry, buddy.
But Chuck Palahniuk, who wrote Fight Club, he conspired with the author of Desert Solitaire.
Really?
To repopulate the Southwest United States without permission from the agricultural department with wolves. They were going to kidnap and breed wolves until they had a bunch.
Fuck ton.
And then they were just going to let them loose in the American Southwest to repopulate them without permission.
That's pretty fire.
And they conspired some other kind of like what would be considered ecological terrorism. They were conspiring together because they're both successful writers.
That's sick.
To do that. And I thought that's
pretty sick.
That's
I did
a
not
funny
know that.
story.
That's
Yeah,
wild.
I just recently read Chuck Palahniuk's autobiography / novel writing advice book, and that was
you gotta check out Desert Solitaire, man.
Yeah, it's up there. I've been reading a lot more books lately. I was a huge reader up until like my early 20s, and then I took time off to do other stuff, and now I'm a huge reader again.
Yeah, that's good. I need to get back into it, to be honest.
Dude, it's wonderful.
I read a lot on my video games.
Travel, watch Wes Anderson movies, eat good foods, eat Waffle House, listen to Taylor Swift, live the best life.
There you go. I like how you blended everything together. Yep. That was very romantic of you.
Yeah, thanks. What's your let's hear your
We're
opinions.
going to me
I'm
now.
almost worried about your opinions.
Ooh, fucking buckle up, boys. If you're a Wes Anderson fan, I got some hot takes today.
Oh.
All right, so I do want to start off with a little disclaimer. I was out of town all of last week, and I didn't actually get an opportunity to like see it in theaters, right? I watched it on this tablet right here.
Hey, really quick,
on an airplane.
Don't worry, it's highly unlikely a Wes Anderson fan could physically harm you.
Okay, that's good.
That is true.
That's good.
I would say that.
Are you? Is that you conceding that I would beat you in a fight?
No, I'm different.
Oh, you're built different.
I'm different.
Okay.
I'm a very strange hybrid person.
I would slap again. We've talked about this, but I would slap your fucking glasses off, and you wouldn't know where the fuck you were.
You would probably send me to a next level. My glasses come off, and I just turn into a Super
just
Saiyan.
fucking
I turn into like a banshee. I become
start
translucent that you can't even grab a hold of me anymore. Become like a banshee from hell, and
Yeah.
you're just gonna need like a Kevlar sack to contain me once the glasses
Bro.
are off. It's like Cyclops takes off his glasses and
And
beams
it's just
you.
the laser beams go out. That's
It's
you.
something like that with the glasses.
Ginger Cyclops.
All right, you might beat me in a fight. Don't do it by taking the glasses off, because then you won't.
Yeah, dude, did I send you that fucking Instagram meme where the guy throws the pillow and it knocks his glasses off, and he's like, no, I'm sorry, it was a joke. I'll show it to you afterwards.
All right.
Okay, anyway.
All right. Anyway.
On to business. I'm sorry. People listen to movie reviews for like the classy side of us, and I feel like I'm dropping the ball a little bit here. Okay, but anyway.
Nah.
My score is going to be the same. I experienced the same level of entertainment as fucking Sound of Freedom, bro. 6.5 out of 10. Yeah, I know. I'm glad there's someone between us right now.
Well, I'm still giving
not-
you the look, too.
I know,
Hey,
dude. I know. It's not
listen.
helping.
I'm not mad. I'm disappointed.
Okay, so let me
That always
get
hurts
it.
more when
So
somebody says that.
again, I do want to preface it off. I was watching it on a tablet, on a plane with headphones on.
I don't think that matters. If you give
but-
it 6.5, I don't know if it could be helped.
But I mean, I had to pause it when the lady was coming. Well, would you like something
I'm
to drink?
depressed.
Yeah, I would. I'm sorry, buddy. I'm genuinely sorry, but this is like full transparency, right? And I'll go through it. So, I
don't
mean,
think
it's a
there's
Wes
enough-
Anderson movie,
Not enough
right?
Icelandic water in the world to drown these sorrows.
So I want to say if you're not a Wes Anderson fan, this is not in my opinion, this is not the movie that you should go and watch. I think you should watch Fantastic Mr. Fox. I think I think everybody can objectively say that's a fucking fire movie.
His most approachable movie by far.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's got pieces of his quirk, but it stays pretty on track.
It's very well structured. It's balanced. It's great. I want to say that I almost feel like it was like forcing a lot of the Wes Anderson shit on you in a way. You know what I mean? It was like, hey, look, I'm going to do something fucking like borderline slapstick at times.
Giving people what they wanted.
It was it almost felt like, have you ever heard the term more mice?
Yeah.
I don't think I have.
Okay, so I'll explain it briefly. When Walt Disney made Mickey Mouse on the fucking boat doing his little fucking thing, Steamboat Willie style, everyone fucking loved it. They ate that shit up, right? They're like, oh my God, this is amazing, right? And it was because it was very creative and it was very entertaining. But the short-sightedness of the fucking corporate conglomerates were like, oh, they like it because he's a mouse. Let's just make more mice. And so, it fucking hampered away from the brand for
That
a
was
cool
the
minute.
original. We need more cowbell.
We need more cow. Exactly. It's a more cowbell.
More cowbell.
And so Wes Anderson was like,
We need more mice.
more
Like, try to
Wes.
picture.
Let's do another thing.
Picture
that's
him
slapstick,
saying that.
to a point where in a lot of his other movies, he'll subtly slide things in that via a second viewing is very entertaining. And this one, it was like there would be some sort of slapstick that he wanted you to see, and he so blatantly like put a spotlight on it in those situations.
That's true.
And I don't want to go into I'm not going to go into it until spoilers, but it was just like, bro, he doesn't have to try that hard. Like, we get it, right? Like, but so that was a little bit disappointing to me. The story, in my opinion, I it was very difficult for me to become captivated by it. There was a point where I kind of got interested in the kids, like a little bit, like the whole competition on like things that were going there. But the story overall, I was not drawn into it.
Do you mean their science competition for their inventions or their little like name the famous people?
Both. I liked both.
Okay.
I liked both.
Okay.
I was at a point where I was like, I wonder who's gonna are one of these kids gonna? Again, I don't want to spoil it, but I was like, are one of these kids gonna fuck up? Like, is one of these kids gonna be like the shitty brainiac of the group, right? And then just like their science, who's gonna win the fucking thing, right? I was kind of interested in those. The rest of it, none of it captivated me at all. I feel bad. I know that it was like, but I was just genuinely like about midway through, I kept tapping and was like, fuck, dude, I still got another 45 minutes with this shit. You know what I mean? Like that's how I felt with fucking Sound of Freedom, dude. I know I'm shattering. It's like, but I'm just saying, personally, the story did not captivate me at all. The pacing, the pacing is complicated, right? And to his credit, he was telling like 3 stories at once, which I thought was kind of cool. Right.
Yeah, I agree with that.
I thought that was a really clever way to do it. The pacing, in the moments when he was trying to articulate something, the pacing was great. But the pacing of the entire thing was like fucking like watching a fucking snail try to go up a hill. You know what I mean? I like go up a curb. It was just very difficult for me to be. I was just like, okay, I get what he's saying here. Let's get to the next. You know what I mean? I don't know. I struggled with the pacing of this movie. Writing was good. The writing is always good, right? I like the speech that the general gives, fucking great, right? Anytime those 3 little shits were on the screen, I loved it. The little girls loved all of their lines.
They were
everything
good.
That was said there. The back and forth with all of the characters, very well done, right? I definitely enjoyed the writing, but it just like there's a point where you're like, all right, I get it, dude. You know what I mean? I don't know. For me personally, that's where it was sitting. Right?
So this has been called the most Wes Anderson movie.
That's
Yeah.
that's literally what I was saying.
And what he seems like he did is he's just like, you like my people, here's 2 hours of you just watching them be my people.
Yeah,
there wasn't a whole lot of structure there.
Like the biggest one I can think of, and I don't want to get again too much into spoilers, but there's a scene with the director where he's having a conversation, and I was like, dude, this conversation could have ended like 5 minutes ago. You know what I mean? But we'll get into it. Soundtrack was good, man. It bopped.
I really liked it.
There's
Beady beady bum bum San Fernando.
I would say there's a very specific. I don't want to necessarily call it like the climax of the movie, but there's a very impactful moment in the movie, and the music, the repetition of the music that was playing in that moment was fucking great. It was perfect. The reactions of all the individuals, and there's limited dialogue in this part, and it was done very well. I enjoyed that part. I enjoyed that scene. There's scenes of this movie I enjoyed, but the movie overall, I felt like it's just a little too much. You know what I mean? For me, anyway. And that's kind of where it sits. So,
Fair enough.
6.5 out of 10.
Fair enough.
What you got for us, Justin?
Yep.
I'm just gonna have to
And you're
go like
welcome to-
slightly lower than him, just because of the fact that it's lower on the totem for me on all of his movies and stuff. So I'd say like a 7.5, borderline 8. Like I really really liked it.
Should you watch it in theaters?
As a Wes Anderson fan, yeah. Like it was a lot to take in, and it's going back to like what his color scheme and stuff and everything. It's usually always like a pastels type situation and stuff. So it's a very soft image for the eyes kind of thing.
Yep.
So I disagree with him with the fact that you watched it on a tablet. I thought it would have been more enjoyable in the theater itself. Yeah. The pacing of it was I'm kind of with you. It was a little difficult to get in, but it was also at the same time, disclaimer for myself, I took like a 50 milligram edible before I went in and watched it. And it was like by the third time or the third way through the movie, I was like, oh, now I get this. Okay, this is all right. I got it now. Because at first, like at the very beginning, it was just like, this is really fucking weird. Yeah. I don't get it. I definitely agree with it being like the most Wes Anderson movie. I would always say that if Wes Anderson was a Wes Anderson and created a Wes Anderson movie, this would be the movie. Yeah. So I'm with that on that. And the writing, it was different, that's for sure, from all of typical type stuff that he does, but still hits the points on what he does.
Yeah, it was just, again, too on the nose. It's like, this is A, B, and C, and then you see A, B, and C, and I'm like, I fucking get it.
Yeah,
you know what I
like,
mean?
exactly.
Like that bothered
if Wes
me.
Anderson
That
was Wes
bothered me a
Anderson.
little bit. I'm just being straight, and I'll tell you, dude.
When we get into spoilers, I need you to
I'll elaborate.
expand upon that.
I'll elaborate. Yeah. But and I want to say again, not to step on your toes too much here, man. French Dispatch is a prime example. You had me watching French Dispatch. The first 15 minutes, I'm like, bro, this fucking movie. I'm like, I like the choreography a little bit. I like the cinematography. I was not checked in. And then somehow it just tricks you. It tricks you. And then you're like, fuck, man, what's going to happen? You know what I mean? This movie didn't do that to me. I was stuck in that first 15 minutes.
Yeah, that makes sense.
You know what I mean?
It had the same kind of pace throughout the whole thing.
Yeah.
It wasn't a roller coaster or
Yeah.
anything. You weren't getting any other climaxes unexpectedly or something like that. Yeah. But the characters I liked quite a bit. Like we talked about Scarlett and Dylan, I was kind of a little worried about. I really, really liked Dylan. And his part, Scarlett, was definitely the least Wes Anderson character that was on there and stuff. And I agree, the soundtrack was just superb. I really, really liked it. I kind of compare totally two different genres, totally two different directors, but Quentin Tarantino, Wes Anderson, they choose good music for their music is for the moment, it defines the moment kind of situation.
You know what? I'm going to get my bro Wes a little bit more money here really quick. For all of you,
buckle up.
All you dudes out there that typically like your Marvel and your Star Wars, you do get to see Scarlett Johansson naked.
Yeah, that's a spoiler, motherfucker.
I don't care.
Yeah, there is a full frontal.
That was for Wes.
There is and it's funny.
It's through a mirror, though, right?
Yeah, it's through a mirror. Yeah. But Wes Anderson was actually really embarrassed to film that. Did
yeah,
you know that? He was
which
like,
surprises me because in French Dispatch, he's got Leah Seydoux up there for like 5 straight
She's like
minutes.
Up there for a cool minute, looking fine, dude.
And then he has Benicio del Toro go up there and like rub the paint on her stomach while she's there, and to get that shot, like he was down there, like right down there with it.
He was literally on it.
Like, how's that Scarlett make you
Scarjo,
uncomfortable?
he said he was very embarrassed to do that.
Yeah, she thought it was funny.
And it was like very cut back. She was like, yeah, I had no problem.
Okay, buddy.
This. She's like, I didn't care, but he was just being a little prude about it.
Yeah,
it was a surprise.
Maybe he was crushing on her. You know?
Probably.
He probably had a little crush on her.
There's like a Buffalo Wild Wings full of dudes right now that are like sprinting for the movie theater.
They're going. They're like, Scarjo, titties, full frontal, yeah, Bud Light.
How much do you guys really care about this Braves and Cleveland game?
Bro, I'm going to be honest, even if those motherfuckers, and again, hot take, probably, I know it's coming out of my mouth. I feel like fucking Jon Snow and the fucking horses are riding on me before the Battle of the Brothers. But those motherfuckers wouldn't even make it through 10 minutes of that fucking movie.
No.
They'd be like, bro, I'm not. They won't see Scarlett Johansson for 10 minutes and they're like, I'm fucking out of here.
All right. So with that being said, we need to find out exactly when in the movie it happens, and then they can just set their clocks by it, show up. Yeah.
Anyway.
Like Mr. Skin.
That's fair. But yeah, there's definitely a full frontal of ScarJo.
I wonder if that's still around.
I haven't heard that in a long time.
Yeah. Remember the movie Knocked Up where they come up with the idea? They're like, dude, we have a website where we do all the work for you, and we find exactly how far in a movie there's a nude scene.
Yeah.
And Paul Rudd's like, you mean like Mr. Skin? And they're like, what? They're like, hopes are dashed.
So mad.
Because it already exists.
That's funny.
No, there's a legit website called Mr. Skin that just shows you every nude scene of every celebrity. Yeah.
Nice. That's classy.
Yeah.
So what was your rating again? I forgot. Sorry.
I would say 7.5, borderline 8.
Okay.
It's my fourth favorite out of his anyway.
Do you have anything else you want to chip in before we hit the spoilers section?
I'll probably give something away if I do.
Okay. All right. I think it's that time.
Let's do it.
Oh, no, dude. Do you know what time it is?
What time is it, man?
It's time for the spoilers!
Oh my gosh! Get out! You're going to know what happens!
Get out of here. We're spoiling
Spoilers, baby!
Did you want to watch it? Too bad. We're going to spoil it if you stay.
Spoiled!
Spoiler! Woo! Spoilers, baby. You want to take it?
Scarlett Johansson's naked.
Yeah. If you made it to the spoilers because you wanted to know, it's literally like a 1/10 of a second, if that.
Yeah.
Stop taking money from Wes Anderson.
It's like
you blink, it's gone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, she does straight up drop a towel and you see titties.
I didn't know if this was a spoiler or not, but I reserved it. One thing I noticed, and I told
Muff. Hey, hold on real quick. Is Muff like discriminatory?
I mean, it's
we're gonna have to ask the resident
vagina.
lady in the room.
Yeah, I know it.
Like
it
if
does,
someone's like, "Hey, you got a nice muff," would you be more mad that they were just like being gross or calling it a muff?
I would just be like, "Why the fuck are you calling it that?" And get away from me, you weirdo.
Okay, that's fair.
Yeah, fair.
It's uncouth, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's not derogatory. It's just like
It's just
that's
it's
a
like
gross
muff.
thing to call it.
Yeah, like a muffler muff.
That doesn't make any sense.
Oh. Okay, sorry. I didn't mean to derail this. Go
I mean,
ahead.
it might serve as some kind of sound suppression. We should move on.
Muff.
All right.
ScarJo muff.
So something I noticed, and so Bailey and I went separate. We'll do this thing where.
Oh, you and Bailey went separate? You didn't watch it together?
No. So
Interesting.
we will see movies that we're both very, very, very interested in. With a few times a year, we'll have someone watch the kids, and we'll go do it. But
that makes sense.
Yeah, you gotta
but
stagger.
Yeah.
if it's just something that's like kind of smaller, and she didn't want to see this, she just realized it was the only thing really out that week, so she had to go see it. But so I hang out with the kids, she goes and sees a movie, or she hangs out with the kids, I'll go, and we swap like 2 nights in a row. And
like
she went and saw it,
penguins.
and one thing I told her is I was like, Jason Schwartzman puts in the best acting of his whole career, and it's by a mile.
The career
really
of a
is.
lifetime.
And she's like, no way. And I was like, he acts like a really manly, like Ernest Hemingway type dude. His name's Augie Steenbeck, which even like kind of reminds me of Ernest Hemingway for some
Yeah, a
reason.
little bit.
But she's like, no way. He's like the most squirrely guy ever. And I'm like, you're absolutely right. He is an absolute squeaky, squirrely little girly fella in every single movie he's ever made. Even when he's supposed to be tough, like Scott Pilgrim is the villain.
That's exactly what I was
Yeah,
thinking
he's
of.
like
Squirrely.
effeminate.
Yes.
Yeah, he's effeminate.
And there's a point in
Flipping
this
his hair
movie where
constantly.
he resorts back to being normal Jason Schwartzman, and you get to see side by side the jarring difference.
Yep.
She came back and she's just like, he needs an Oscar. Because he just transforms into this like very stern kind of
borderline stoic. Yeah, he's stoic.
morose,
He's stoic.
manly, machismo type dude, and he does
No
amazing.
emotion. Like hardly any emotion.
Very little emotion, and and changes his voice, his face. It looks
Another
like
thing
he's
that
like
he did, he's very
got
decisive.
something stuffed in his face like the whole movie.
Yeah, he was also very decisive. Like his character was very decisive. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
and kind of well, stoic covers it.
Yeah,
Immovable, but
immovable, but yeah,
Um, yeah, and he was a great character. So I thought that was wild seeing Jason Schwartzman play a
to be rugged and
rugged character. Yeah. No, but I'd really like to hear. You said like ABC. Here it is. All right, cool. Like,
Oh, okay. So you want me to elaborate on that? So the first thing that like kind of bothered me, and I know this is going to be a mega hot take, was just the intro, like the train coming into town, and it was like, oh, I know,
Bro.
I fucking know. But it's like all of the dumbass little slapstick. Hey, here's the goofy roadrunner running by. Here's this fucking sign popping up. Like all of these things that it's like. It would have been fine if it wasn't like so. There was such a big spotlight on all of these independent. I know. I'm fucking. I'm out here. I'm Jon Snow, baby.
Yeah.
Holding the sword.
how much
But I
work went
didn't-
into that? That train was a miniature, and all that
Well,
stuff was.
I
like,
know.
They had animation, a model, and actual like recording, like video recorded, and they meshed it all together. And there was some of it that I had difficulty like telling the difference.
Yeah, I was just. I don't know. It didn't do it for me.
I loved it.
Didn't do it for me at all. I was very. I could tell immediately. I'm like, all right, it's a Wes Anderson movie.
I'd like
man.
to
Just
take
let
the
it
rest of
bite.
this review to review all the ways you can go fuck yourself.
Nice.
I'm just kidding.
I'm telling you, I'm
Everyone has
Squidward.
their
Dude,
opinion.
I'm Squidward today, bro. I'm fucking Squidward. I knew
It's
this was
fine.
gonna happen after I watched the movie. I'm like, fuck, dude, I'm gonna have to fucking throw fire.
It never surprises me when someone has these opinions about a Wes Anderson
No.
movie, and it doesn't bother me. It's not for everyone, and I can
But-
more than understand and recognize
this
that.
is the point of why he said that like not a single Wes Anderson fan would fight you over this situation. They're just like, yeah, okay, whatever.
Yeah.
Your problem, bro.
The fucking the portrayal of the axe when he's taught when Edward Norton is writing the screenplay, and Bryan Cranston is narrating him writing the screenplay. The scene where the motherfuckers are told to go to sleep, and then they do some fucking weird ass gimmick at the end where they're like, "You can't wake up if you don't fall asleep," or whatever the fuck it was.
That was my least favorite part of the whole movie.
The mantra that was supposed to make you uncomfortable. Like, it was just there was just a series of all of these situations and sequences, and he's done it before, right? Anytime he introduces a new act, French Dispatch, I think it's even done in Fantastic Mr. Fox. It's just done a little bit. It at least leaves a little bit of an illusory point. Where in this one, it's literally lays it out. This is what you're about to watch. And then you watch it, and you're like, I watched what he said I was about to watch. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Are you talking about chapter titles?
Yeah.
And then you're upset that he does what the chapter title is?
No, like, it's like,
it's got like a storybook.
Intermission followed by this.
Storybook quality. Like, it's supposed to have that whimsy to it.
He went into more details about depicting the acts. Laying out, like, all of the, I don't know. It just... To me, and I get it, some people like seeing, the curtain being lifted and looking at that side. The conversation between the director and his wife, that shit should have fucking...
The director and his wife?
Yeah, when Adrian Brody is boxing because he's living in the fucking studio and she comes in.
But that's the whole, like, I really like that part just because there was literally a boxing bag that was next to him off to the side.
On the bag.
And he was just doing it like in the air. So,
right?
yeah.
It's like... But it's like that I don't know, that conversation was a little bit fucking well too much drawn out in my opinion. I loved the assembly. I loved that scene. The very first assembly where they're introducing the space cadets and the fucking general gives a speech.
That was a good one.
Good.
I liked it.
I liked the actual alien encounter.
It was
very, very
really good.
You'd have to be fucking crazy to not like it. I love that.
It's my favorite part of the whole movie.
I feel like that's probably actually accurate. Like, if that ever really happened, we got visited by aliens, they would just kind of, that scenario would be the one.
Yeah,
super awkward.
Totally awkward the whole time.
I don't think an alien would make a move that strategically poor, though. I'm just going to drop down in the middle of all these people unannounced and grab this rock real quick.
Well, you never know, man. I mean, they might have a DMV like we do. They just have a date and they have to arrive, right?
So
it's just true.
Like, he's just the grunt doing his job. He's got to catalog the meteorite, bro. You know what I mean? But I love that he was like stop action.
Oh, yeah.
And then in behind the scenes, it's your boy, dude. It's Jeff Goldblum.
Yeah.
I thought that was fucking funny.
I wasn't expecting that.
So
when he goes to, at the beginning, when he goes to light his pipe, and he has no fucking lighter fuel, he turns it upside down, a random hand just fucking hits it with a gas pump. Kind of made me giggle. I'm not gonna like those bits. The chicks, the little girls fucking chanting, their witch brew to like fucking revive their mother who was left in a Tupperware container. Good. It was all good, right? But there were just some of these like blatant slapstick situations that were happening that I was just like, I don't know.
So
I was like, all right, dog, I get it. You're Wes Anderson. You know what I mean?
No, I understand what you're saying, but I love it. I just eat it up, dude. Yeah. I'm just
digging it.
Keep doing it. Keep doing it, Wes.
Look, the credits, the Roadrunners walking back and forth.
Dude, he's like doing his little like wobble thing back and forth. I was there for it. I was sad when it ended.
He ran.
Dude, so like, you're complaining about that, and it's so funny. When I knew the end was getting near, I literally thought to myself in the theaters, I'm going to like this movie less if that Roadrunner isn't the last thing I see. Yep. And then it came out and did that dance.
Wes
I was like,
Anderson
Wes makes like these movies for me. And that's what every Wes Anderson fan feels like, is like, this guy literally makes, like, it's like he consults my dreams. He's just like, what Jeremy want in a movie? All right, I'll make it. I've never experienced anything like that in any medium before, where I don't disagree with a single frame of it. It's just like constant just joy. I look like I've been hit in the head with something when I watch his movies. I'm just like,
you're just drooling a little bit. Yeah.
Like the whole time.
The Tilda Swinton.
Just frozen and like.
The Tilda Swinton and the Brainiac scene where he's like, maybe it's a date. And she's like, oh, shit. You know what I mean? Like that. I like that. I like that dichotomy.
Yeah, what's the bleeps and bloops mean? And it's so funny. He'll try to be so precise and concise and intelligent with certain things, but then he'll also throw in like wildly informal things like, what are all the bleeps and like call those bleeps and bloops rather than like data points or something like that.
Also, the kids, hats off. None of these kids are actual like the characters that they're portraying, right? They're not fucking crazy ass tism fucking.
Well, I mean they might be, but we don't know.
I don't think they are. But the fact that they had to memorize all of those fucking names.
Yeah, I was impressed with that.
It's probably easier than memorizing that much random script or monologue.
Yeah,
names is probably easier. That's just a list.
That's true.
Yeah, maybe.
He's memorizing a list rather than like a page of random.
But the way they were reciting the names was like they knew that, like they were familiar with the name that they were giving.
The people,
you know what I mean? Yeah. And that's what I'm saying. And then they were also reciting it in the background during other conversations, like accurately, you know, like it wasn't just like blah, 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 inaudible them saying it, they were actually still saying it. And I was like, damn, dude, like they're getting it. At that point, they could have had a list in front of them. Who knows, right? Movie magic, but
so my favorite part of the movie was when the alien came down, grabbed the rock, and he was about to dip out, but then he looked up and saw Augie Steenbeck was about to take a picture, so he did like a little pose.
Yeah, that was nice.
I thought that was like a wonderful touch. With that being said, what is both of your favorite point in the movie, favorite moment from the movie? We'll start with you.
I really like the intro. I know it's
I'm
totally
sorry,
man.
Oh,
Like, I
geez,
really,
James.
I mean, again, back to the
coming in
animation, the model, and the actual video and stuff. It all meshed. Like there was certain points that I was just like, what is what kind of thing? Like I thought that it was done well. I like that part.
James, you got to pick a. I know you said there's parts you liked, but what was your absolute favorite?
The first introduction in the diner, I thought was really good when he took a picture of her. I actually really liked that.
Of
back and
Midge
forth.
Campbell.
Yep.
ScarJo.
I like that back and forth.
I like how every time he goes in, he's like 1 coffee and 5 flapjacks.
Yeah, I would second the moment when the waitress comes up and asks, he was like, "What do you little princesses want?" And they're like, "We're not princess.
I'm a witch. I'm a vampire.
I'm a fairy."
Yeah, it was like.
I figured you'd appreciate the part at the end
she's
where
like, well, how about some strawberry milk?
Yeah.
I figure you would appreciate the part at the end where Tom Hanks' character Stanley finally gives up on getting
Trying
the
to
Tupperware out.
get his daughter out
And
of
he's like, all right, tells like the son, like, are you going to say a prayer or something? He's like, I don't even know if I believe in God anymore. And he goes, I can't blame you.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I loved the general speech. I loved that whole entire. I think that's probably going to be my favorite, to be honest. Also, the quarantining when the quarantine originally happened, and he had to read off all of the requirements, and the kid was checking them off. I like that. I like those a lot. I thought those were good.
I love the desert. And I love aliens.
But yeah.
So when I got home from the movie, I noticed that for the first time ever, Focus Features, who has done the last couple Wes Anderson movies, I think, Indian Paintbrush is always the funding. It's like actually his buddy.
Yeah.
But Focus Features actually made like a website to buy like swag and clothes and stuff for this movie.
Asteroid?
Don't tell me this.
And one of the main ones is a shirt and a hat that both just say "Thanks, Ricky." And this is how I knew I needed to watch it again. I was like, when in the world did they say "Thanks, Ricky"? Do you remember where that's said?
God, it's that. Which one was Ricky again?
He was one of the kids. He was the one that I think he's the Asian
Will
kid.
you dare me?
Yeah, he's the Asian kid.
Oh.
No, that's
No.
that's Liev Schreiber's kid.
Oh, okay.
Ricky's the kid of Asian
I don't
descent.
He probably had
remember
the
when he said thanks,
least
Ricky.
amount of screen time out of the
So
kids.
Ricky's the one that comes up with a master plan
Oh,
to
yeah,
leak
yeah,
that they're
yeah.
quarantined. So then he goes to the general. Tony Revolori comes in. He's like, message from the president. And he just goes,
He's pissed.
he's furious.
Thanks,
Throws
Ricky.
it. And then he goes, thanks, Ricky.
Okay, nice. That's good.
Yeah. Yeah, so I was like, oh, cool. They made that. And then they also
I love
obviously made
that. That was kind of, again, I will say this one got me when he asked to use he needs to put a dime in the payphone because he doesn't want to fucking dead him.
Oh,
and then
yes.
Soldier just gives him his fucking gun and like goes in to put the dime. It got me. I was
I
like,
want to be a good
okay.
citizen.
fair.
I made a call without paying for it.
Yeah. Yeah. I would hate to rob the
Idiot.
phone company.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's funny.
He just hands him his gun. It made me laugh.
I like Steve Carell's character, the proprietor of the little hotel.
Steve Carell was Steve Carell.
He's like, you've actually got the tent. It's like burnt down the tent.
Yeah. And you see him like still nailing it in.
And I really love Liev Schreiber's kid. They always dare it. And then they finally have that moment with him. They're like, all right, let me understand you. And they're like, what do you want to do? And he's like, you dare me to go hug that cactus or whatever? And they're just like, no.
Please don't do that.
No, please don't.
When Liev Schreiber, the first time he talks, he sounded just like fucking George Clooney. I was like, is George Clooney in this movie too? Because he's talking at the picnic table, and then it pans over to him, and I'm like,
he does.
God,
Yeah,
he sounded just like George Clooney.
He did.
So, something, it's like one of those blink and you'll miss it type deals. But Liev Schreiber, the kid's like, do you dare me to press this button? And he's like, if you press that button, I will strangle you or whatever. And then like there's some other commotion going on, and you see him tackle the kid.
Yeah,
first.
Yeah.
It's just good. It's just good, man. And then Jarvis Cocker Jarvis Cocker does a lot of his music. He did the campfire song in Fantastic
Arrival?
Mr. Fox.
Oh, okay.
The like, you wrote a bad song, PT.
Oh, did he do
That's
the
his weak
alien
songwriting.
the alien song that the kids sang?
Yeah,
Yes.
he,
Bro,
he also wrote that.
That was good.
And then Sue Jorge does the part where the kids just like, dear alien, who art thou in heaven, lean and skinny, about 6'7". Though we know you're not our brother, are you friend or foe? Sue Jorge goes, or other. Yeah, that's Sue Jorge, which is awesome to bring him back. I'll sometimes just this is being a Squidward. I'll sometimes just sit around listening to Sue Jorge's like actual Brazilian music in my kitchen while I'm making food. Same with Jarvis Cocker for French Dispatch, came out with a French language only album. Aline. I'll just sit around and listen to that. There's times where, of course I don't. Of course I don't just love Taylor Swift. I sit around listening to stuff in other languages from indie musicians from the United Kingdom.
Nice.
Or Brazil. I wish Sue Jorge would come around on tour. He only hits like the biggest cities in the United States, but he's not super famous. It's just he knows no one would know who he is. Like if he showed up to Jones Assembly, there'd be like 5 of us there.
This hit your top 3 in Wes Anderson's.
This is
so far.
It might be second, but right now it's third.
That's wild.
Goes Life Aquatic, and Fantastic Mr. Fox is third, and this bumped it.
Damn.
This movie bumped it out of a place it's held for since it came out.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say.
I was happy to see Willem Dafoe, though.
He had a lot smaller part than
he was like a famous acting coach. In this,
but I was happy to see him in there. I was like, they got Willem in there.
Was Fisher Stevens the guy that was always like in the sunglasses in the background? Like he was always doing something. He was using the catapult. Like when there was
so.
Four of them arguing in the office, he like just pops in the back door, drinks something out of a flask, and then like listens for a second, then drops back. I was really intrigued by his character.
Yep.
Yeah, Jarvis Cocker was PT. You wrote a bad song, PT, and Fantastic Mr. Fox, and then he sang that Aline song that kept coming on during Timothée Chalamet's portion of French Dispatch. So I love how Wes Anderson just has this troupe, and it keeps growing.
Yeah.
And you read about the actors, like, why do you do this? You can't make that much money because his movies aren't huge budgets.
They love it.
They love it because apparently Wes Anderson, like Hollywood's a cold place, and as a rule, they're just kind of like, like they show up to work, they leave. They don't really hang out that much, right? Well, Wes Anderson makes like a family environment where whenever they shoot something, like say he'll rent out a whole hotel, like a really nice one, rent it all for the duration of the shoot, give them all a room and be like, all right, every morning let's eat breakfast together, every night let's eat dinner together, let's all talk, drink, hang out, go back to our rooms like we're one big family in a giant house. And
they love
these people that are used to just the cold shoulder and people not giving a shit and just the business only
camaraderie
grind of Hollywood. They like the camaraderie, family, like it's something they're not used to. And so they just keep coming back for more. And then he's able to recruit other people because the word spreads. So Liev Schreiber jumped on board French Dispatch. So he was probably just like, hey, like, whoever someone else, Matt Dillon, he might be friends with Matt Dillon. Hey, Matt Dillon, you really need to be a part of this. And so next time a movie comes out, we're probably going to see Matt Dillon, and then it's going to keep at it. We got Benedict Cumberbatch coming next. He's a snowball that just turned it into an avalanche. I hate to see his last movie. Like Like it's gonna be every actor currently working. The cast is gonna be like 200 A-list actors, and it's gonna turn multinational.
And I'm gonna give it a 6.5 out of 10.
It's probably just gonna be like it's probably just gonna be like a stadium of people watching cricket, and all the spectators are A-list actors saying like weird things to each other. And I'm gonna watch it for an hour and 45 minutes, being like, "This is the best thing I've ever seen."
And there's gonna be like a fucking gopher or a prairie dog on the field, and you're like, God damn it! If I don't see that prairie dog
at the end of the movie,
there's that prairie dog.
If I don't see it dancing to a Rolling Stones song that no one's ever heard of at the end of this movie, I'm gonna be sorely disappointed.
Boom.
I want to say on top, like with your saying that they group everybody together and he treats everybody nicely and stuff, and they hang out and whatnot. I want to say that this movie was filmed during COVID, and they actually kind of like quarantined literally together and stayed in the huts and stuff.
Yep, it was filmed in Spain.
That's
also.
right. Yes.
Because he lives in France,
of course.
So he does. Yeah. He's from Houston. Grew up from a rich family, and you can tell that he comes from money.
It's awkward.
You can always tell. Yeah, he's an incredibly socially awkward person in interviews and such. And he's just got a mentality that you can tell he came from money. There's suffering in his movies, but it's like rich people suffering.
Yeah,
it
it's
really
nothing.
is.
Yeah, it's never. I will say,
It's like
though,
Margot Robbie's like, oh, I've got all this money, but I'm sad, blank. Like Royal Tenenbaums.
There was a point where I think it was Leave had the fucking laser gun, and the military was like, surrender it. And I was like, bro, are we about to see some death?
In Wes Anderson movie?
Some legit death? Like, tensions got pretty spicy in that moment. But, of course.
Trying to think if anyone's ever died in a Wes Anderson movie.
Yeah,
freaking in Grand Budapest Hotel, Willem Dafoe knocks off Deputy Kovacs, which is the lawyer Jeff Goldblum. He knocks off Matthew something. He's like a French actor. He kills several folks.
There was some murder in Fantastic Mr. Fox, wasn't there? The fucking farmers?
Yes. No.
They didn't get any key characters, right?
The farmers didn't kill anyone.
Wasn't there a point where you walked into like the butcher room and there was just like a bunch of fucking...
No.
Okay.
No.
I don't think so.
I think his tail was in there or something.
What about in the jars? No. That was all out. That was all the brewing stuff. Okay. I don't know. Maybe I'm crazy.
Tastes like liquid gold.
Liquid gold.
Apple cider.
Mm-hmm. I want some of Bean's cider, dude.
Yeah.
And I want one of his wife's apple fritter thingies.
I don't know, man. This movie didn't do it for me, man. I was hoping it would because I liked the trailer. I really enjoyed the trailer. The trailer was great.
The best part of the whole trailer, and I hate that they give it away, is the like, I've got a nude scene. You want to see it?
Yes.
Did I say yes?
Did I say yes?
You didn't say anything. Oh. I meant to say yes, but my mouth didn't speak.
My mouth wasn't speaking, My mouth wasn't working or something
and
that.
That goes back to what you were saying. Like, he says things differently than what we would normally would.
Yeah, and it's I don't know. It's just so you're drawn to it because you're like, this is different. And
some people are drawn to it.
Yeah. I mean, I get it. I don't know. I don't know what it is about Wes Anderson fans that they just need that, but I don't know. I personally, but I can't just claim this alone because I feel like you're at least a little bit this way, but I personally can't stand normal.
Yeah.
So like even Marvel movies are just normal. Like even though it's superheroes, like it's normal, and I can't. Like I'm tired of it. I'm tired of normal. Like even anymore, like. If you were to be like, Jeremy, you got to go out and get like a new group of friends, I'd go up to a group of people. I'd be like, all right, are any of you a scientist, a murderer, or a professor of any sort? Have you been in like some crazy war in another continent? And they'd be like, no. Like, yeah, all right, never mind then.
Bye.
Bye.
Have a great time. Bye. Have a great time.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't know what it is. It's hard to articulate what it is about the movies that draws you in.
Color, and the camera.
There's so many things about it.
Like I absolutely
that no one else does it like him. And a million people have repeated this. You can turn on a Wes Anderson movie, and within seconds you're like, "This is a Wes Anderson movie." Mm-hmm. You can do that within reason with a few other directors, but you can't do it as fast with any other director.
No,
it's immediate. You can pause it on any part of any of his movies, and you know it's his movie. No other director can claim that. And that doesn't make him the best director.
No.
Actually, even as much as I love him, I don't think he's the best director that ever lived. I don't think he's top 5.
But you just like his movies, you like his style.
I like his movies, I like his style, I like his quirk and differentness, and I'm, I guess, at a point in my life where I need quirk. I need stuff that's different. I've done that normal shit. I need that weird shit.
You need to get freaky with it, boy.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's all I got for it, man. You got anything else you want to add?
No, it's good. What I give it, a 9. I stick with a 9. That might even go up. I've only watched it once. It's usually I see them back to back. Like the next day I go right back.
Yeah, I think I saw it in theaters. And of course it was after it was released for a little bit longer. Saw it in the theaters, and then it was like 3 days later I bought it. It's like, oh, it's already out. I'm getting that.
Yeah,
I own it. Unfortunately, because the options were $19.99 or $14.99 to rent or $19.99 to buy. So I'm like, well, fuck.
Oh, for some reason I think I got sidetracked on this earlier. That movie coming out on Netflix, there are reports, including from Wes Anderson, that it's going to be done differently than he's ever done before and not the traditional Wes Anderson way. I am absolutely devastated to hear that, but I'm going to reserve judgment until I see it.
Well, it's next Netflix. They're going to be like, yeah, we're going to do it this way.
If anyone could save one of these, no, I'm just kidding. I'm not going there. I'm kidding.
Yikes!
I'm kidding.
No, dude,
I'm joking. They're not terrible. They're just not everybody's cup of tea. And some of them, like I said, some of them hit me, man. Some of them I love, but like this one, I love space, dude. I love aliens. I love the crew. I love the cast.
The desert and you love aliens.
I love the desert, dude, but fuck me. I didn't like this movie. That's for sure. I gave it a 6.5 because it's still it's decent. It's got a lot of redeemable qualities, but just the pacing overall, I couldn't get past it, man. I couldn't get past like the forced. I want to call it like spotlighted slapstick, or like spotlighted Wes. You know?
Yeah.
Hey, look, this is what I always do. Ha ha! You know, it's like a comedian who's become successful, and they just show up and go, "Hey guys, it's me," and then they're like, "Ah!"
It's like
I'm doing another special.
You're gonna get.
That's you, bro.
You're gonna give me a complex. Maybe I'm the one that's dull. Like I keep feeding off of this fucking.
And then they fucking
gerbil
sneeze.
jug. Just thank you, Wes. Thank you, thank you. Giving me
like
more
it wasn't
of the
even
same.
a joke, and people are fucking laughing. You know
it's
what I
like
mean?
Carlos Mencia. He always did his deep.
I'm Squidward in this one, dude. I'm the Squidward.
Well, you watched on a tablet, so you don't know what parts people would have laughed during.
I'm just
there honestly isn't
I'm just
a
using
whole
that
lot of laughter.
I went
reference.
to Flick's Brew House the first time to go see this movie and stuff and everything, and I was the only person in the whole theater. It was nice. $18. Well, no, it wasn't even $18. It was a matinee. It was at 10:30 in the morning, so I paid like $12 for.
Got the whole thing to yourself.
Did you order any food or drinks?
I got a soda.
Okay, they've got pretty decent beer for a movie theater, brewery,
brew house theater.
Yeah. And they have non-alcoholic butter beer sometimes, like Harry
I had
Potter
some butter
style.
beer when we watched.
It's decent.
Something. I don't remember.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. I'm not mad. I'm used to your opinion on this. And again, maybe us Wes Anderson fans are the two normal ones. Maybe we've just been fed it until we're
Anderson washed, dude.
Yeah, we're just Anderson washed.
You've been Andersoned.
But I will say, if you are a Wes Anderson fan,
you'll probably like it.
You'll like it. You might not love it, but you'll like it. If you're a Wes Anderson fanatic, you'll love it.
Yes.
If you don't like Wes Anderson, you'll hate it. If you're like, Wes Anderson's all right, you won't like it.
Yeah, that's me.
And there's James.
Yep.
And if you're undecided, I will end on this. If people acting smarter than they probably are, saying things in quirky ways, everything looking like a cartoon of what it should look like, and being oddly symmetrical and colorful sounds appealing to you, like an adult fairy tale full of nerds, then maybe give it a try. If that sounds unappealing in any way, any part of that, do not for any reason go see it.
If you've never seen a Wes Anderson movie, watch Fantastic Mr. Fox. That's my opinion. Watch that shit.
That's the best.
But then don't expect all of his movies to be like that.
No.
But it's going to give you a really good idea of kind of, I mean, the pacing and the framing of all of them is very,
That is true. It's pretty universal throughout most.
Hot box. Divide that by 3, please. No, divide that by 9, please. Whack
It's
that.
definitely not a kid's movie, and I think that's what kind of most people are like, I'm not going to watch this kid's movie.
Oh, what was that? Something with cider. That was dangerous.
Yeah, it's a banger.
Cider.
It's a
cider
good one.
flood. It's good.
All right, we got anything coming up that you can think of?
Eventually, there's going to be
a hot dog
as soon
chomper.
as next week a hot dog eating contest. It's going to get pretty gross in here.
What, dude? Are we going to do 10 minutes?
Put a poncho on Emily for that one.
This is the problem, bro.
Oh, God.
1,000 ways to die.
We're going to put up a glass wall right there in case we lose our hot dogs.
No, bro.
Save her laptop.
This does not sound appealing to me, but like watching 2 fucking mid-30-year-old men eat fucking plain hot dogs for 10 minutes.
I don't envy that.
Can I mustard
Actually,
mine?
no. You know what? You can do whatever you want. That's just going to slow you down.
You say it's not entertaining, but there's a national contest that happens
yeah,
about
right?
it.
Yeah. I actually think it'll be entertaining to watch.
Should we put some music on during the 10 minutes?
I think she's going to enjoy watching us suffer through.
Should we put some Pompeii?
At least 10 hot dogs.
Bastille Pompeii while we're fucking
No, that's copyright infringement.
slamming our glabs. Royalty-free.
Royalty-free Pompeii.
Pompey.
Yeah. We got to find someone to write a song called Pompey with every word just slightly.
Pompey by barrel, dude.
I can do it.
I'm excited. I'm excited. I'm excited about the hot dog thing.
Okay. All right. If you think it's, I just worry that watching 2 fucking middle-aged men eating hot dogs. Who knows, man? There's a
It'll be
demographic.
fine.
There's a demographic.
So you got to also think about.
I mean, there are people that watch Wes Anderson. I'm just kidding.
Oh.
I'm just kidding.
You're not gonna get a rise out of me because I understand what it is.
Yeah, there are some motherfuckers that watch us eat hot dogs, dude.
There's a whole nother layer
I'm gonna
to
ask
it,
the
though.
boys just to make sure. If the boys don't check off on it, I'll bring it back. But I'm sure they're gonna be like, yeah, we'll watch you eat hot dogs.
I
You
mean,
fat fuck.
So I'm the one that's most confident about it and obsessed with hot dogs. So maybe I can do it and you commentate
No,
it.
I'll eat too.
Well, I mean, now
I'm
that I
not
think
gonna
about
leave
it,
you in
it
the
is going to be
trenches.
10 minutes of dead air besides just like.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
like
I'm
on
not
the
gonna-
podcast listening side, it's
Oh,
just
yeah.
gonna be
Yeah, that-
just eating
that
the food.
audio
That's it.
file is going to be
We
rough.
could have you come back and you could, if you want to eat them
Like,
or you want to.
we need a ref for the hot
dogs.
dogs.
Commentate.
I would have to feel the air. That is like my number one. Like I cannot stand listening to people eat. It
Okay,
is-
yeah.
I can't-
Yeah, no,
Misnonia,
don't eat by the
misnonia,
mic. No, it's going to be a visual thing for sure. No, you know what we can do? You know what we can do and are going to do?
Okay, here we go.
It's going to be a completely separate video, just hot dog eating contest. Only
Okay.
on YouTube, no audio uploaded.
Okay.
So we're going to do that, everybody. There will be a YouTube video sometime in the future of James and I
Exclusive.
seeing how many hot dogs we can eat.
Oh,
If that sounds like
God.
something fun for you to watch for 10 minutes, it's going to probably happen.
Oh,
There will be
God.
no audio of it on
Okay,
on
that's
the
fair.
podcast.
I like that. That's
I
a
just
better
want
way
to see
do
if
it.
I can do it, and I might as well film it type deal.
Yeah.
And then give the people what they probably don't want.
Give the people what they never asked for.
You guys want us to eat a bunch of hot dogs? No? Well, we're going to do it anyway.
Baby. Here comes the airplane. It's just fucking.
I said 10, but it's going to be 13, and it's going to be the ugly way.
I mean, we could put 20. Oh God, we could put 20 down each and like on a plate and see how far we go.
20 each?
Yeah, I mean, we're not probably not going to get to. 20,
So
but
my
we'll put
favorite
20,
my
we'll stack
favorite
20
hot dog.
up.
So we're either going to do Nathan's or Schwab's.
Schwab's.
Schwab's is Mio.
Made in Oklahoma, baby.
Aha!
I was like, what the fuck?
He got that before you. I'm disappointed.
Made in Oklahoma. So. We have a little tag for all of our food.
But the Schwabs are smaller. Schwabs are like that. Nathan's are like, bah.
They're like what? I'm sorry.
How's the girth on them?
Nathan's and Schwab's are both pretty thin as far as.
How many Jeremys would fit next to a Schwab's? Like 5 or 6?
A Jeremy is marginally larger in circumference than a Schwab.
I'd say like half a James, probably. Just kidding. I'm fucking peacocking here. Literally. Okay.
I'm not gonna volunteer to eat 10 Jeremys.
Jeremys would go down. Like
I'm not saying
vitamin,
that's gonna be like impossible task. I'm just saying it's worse than 10 Schwabs.
Okay, that's fair. I guess.
I say we do Schwab's because they're smaller. We'll get the smallest buns we can find. We can do Schwab. That's kind of cheating though. The contest is Nathan's. Nathan's are tasty too.
Well, I mean, I'll do whatever.
But here's the deal. Nathan's come in 8 packs. So what is that? 20, 24, 12. We'll do 12 each because they come in 8 packs. So we'll do 3 packs.
Okay.
We'll have 12 each. See if we can do 12.
Cooked or uncooked?
Oh, cooked. Who would eat an uncooked hot dog?
I mean, I'm not going to comment on whether or not I've eaten
What about
an
Vienna
uncooked hot dog.
sausages?
I'm not eating a fucking Vienna sausage.
No.
Spam?
Nope.
But you realize it's the same thing as a hot. Okay. No, that's
Well,
fine.
I only eat hot dogs like that whenever it's like a chili dog.
Do you think hot dogs would be good in an air fryer?
There's only one way to find out.
That's fair. I mean, shit. Let's throw some in there.
Talking about air frying hot dogs during a movie review, and I am here for it.
Coming up episodes is what we're talking about.
I don't know. We've got Barbie and Oppenheimer coming up quick.
Man, I can't.
That's going to be a double review because we're going to watch them at the same time.
Double feature in that shit.
We're going to probably spend a whole Friday night from 5 to 10 watching them.
Hell yeah.
So, but that's the 20. What is the 15th?
It's
that's
the 21st.
next. That's next Friday.
Yeah. That's
ready
next week.
So if I'm
on vacation.
For some reason, I keep. Are you really?
Yeah, I'm house sitting.
For some reason, I think I have something to do next weekend, but I don't know. I should be here.
Bro, somebody right now, you're forgetting somebody's like fucking birthday or something, and they're fucking crying. There's something I'm supposed to do, but I don't know. And they're like, that motherfucking asshole.
It's you and Bailey's
I
anniversary.
That's October 4th. Her birthday, she turns 30.
Hey, whoa!
Something.
She's revolved around the sun a few times, but not enough to
in
be
17 minutes.
Oh, wow.
Oh, that's good to know.
Yeah.
Dun, 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 dun.
She's older than me. We'll say that.
Really?
Cradle
Yeah.
snatcher.
Yeah, not as old as my ex-wife was like 8 years older than me though.
Way to go, Slay King.
Yep. So much older.
Like a
Never mind,
refined
I'm not
wine.
gonna go there.
I'm a bit of a scientist myself.
Oh wait, no, your ex is even more than 8 years older than you. She was like
I probably
22
have the biggest age
years older than
discrepancy.
you.
I have the biggest age discrepancy for sure.
They knew a thing or two because they'd seen a thing or two.
Let's say, that's it. Let's just say if you
They
took
work
the
for
age
State Farm.
difference
You guys get
and
your heads
gave
out of
it
the
a pen,
gutter,
it could write in
alright?
cursive. You know what I'm saying? Anyway,
What?
I said if you gave the age difference a pen, it could have written in cursive.
We should be able to write in cursive. I tried the other day, and I
can. I just did my signature. Didn't you see?
Yeah, the signature.
I did. Well, my signature isn't legible, so
Yeah,
I
I
don't
know.
need to
Yeah,
know cursive.
I was like, who's my co-host? Jason Long? What? Who the fuck is that?
You never seen my signature?
seen
Signatures
that.
aren't supposed
I
to
was
spell
teasing,
out your
bro.
name like you're 7.
Bro, I was teasing. I was just teasing, man. Yeah, no, your handwriting is notoriously fucking atrocious.
Oh, dude, my typeset, like my actual.
Neither of you have good handwriting.
Yeah, well, I don't write anymore. You know what I mean? But
She's getting brave. I like it.
yeah.
Yeah, no, I got nothing else.
Why write when you can type?
It's whether it's next week or the week after, you're gonna get a double whammy review of Barbie
We are
and
stoked.
Oppenheimer in the same episode. It's probably gonna be like an hour and a half long
We are pro
Yeah.
both.
or more. Might be
Yeah.
like a 2-hour long episode.
100%.
That's all gonna be one big.
It's like
slog.
a good pairing of wine and cheese or something, you know?
Yeah, you gotta
Aged.
just sit down and By the time you're done digesting it, that cheese will be sweaty as shit.
Got to get them both.
It's 2 hours. The cheese is sitting out unrefrigerated, perspiring while we wax poetic about Oppenheimer and Barbie. Barbenheimer. I'm excited about that. And then, of course, there'll be more bear rugs. Do our usual. No one's listened this long, but please give us more Ask a Bear Rug questions.
Yes, always.
We're loving them.
No question too spicy. No question too plain.
I love that somebody got me on that Taylor Swift thing, called me out, made me pick something, made me go through her whole damn catalog.
We're in it for the game.
We're in it. We're in it for
give us some questions.
The interaction is gold. So there'll obviously be another Ask a Bear Rugs and Barbie Oppenheimer, and then the next banter. I don't know. We'll have to see what happens.
Yeah, we'll mess around. We'll get filthy with it. We'll get froggy. And I think that's it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, all good things must come to an end, and unfortunately, that includes this episode. As always, remember, don't be a bear rug.
Don't do it. Nothing good can come from it. But seriously, we really appreciate you listening, and we hope you tune in next time.